Language literacy acquisition. With language literacy acquisition, there are four main points of foundation of this. It is balanced literacy, writing process stages, 6 traits of writing, and writing workshop. These four things are the foundation of writing and really help guide our students to the correct direction with the tools and skills they need in order to be successful writers. The first one, balanced literacy, has 3 components: interactive writing, shared writing, and independent writing. Shared writing is typically with whole group, where the teacher is the scribe and the children work together in order to come up with a message. This is high support, and its primary focus is to model writing to students. Next is interactive writing. This is usually done with whole group, typically pre-K through 2nd grade. This is where the children and the teacher share the pen. So with the student, the teacher might write a sentence and may allow the students to come fill in sight words or the beginning letter of different words. This way, the teacher is guiding the student with how to write. This is middle support. Last, we have independent writing. Independent writing is to focus on the child getting their independence, where they get to practice what they have learned throughout the different components. This is low support. Typically, the students don't need as much guidance, and this teacher is there to help and provide support when needed. The next one is writing workshop. Writing workshop has 3 components as well: mini lesson, writing time, and sharing time. A mini lesson is typically 5 to 10 minutes long. It can be over ideas, voice, word choice, conventions of writing, and different writing processes. Next is writing time. This is about 30 minutes dedicated for the student to just write. This isn't about just the teacher coming in and correcting the different writing. This is for the student to write, and the teacher can do conferences with the students, helping them with different areas that they may need assistance in. The next one is sharing time. This is where a few students get to read their drafts to the whole class, while the teacher and the other students get to have comments and give praises and suggestions to that author. These 3 things tied together with balanced literacy writing, as they both help develop the student's basic foundation of writing and to see what needs to happen, and then they get the chance to actually perform it. The next one is the 6 traits of writing. Keep in mind, through balanced literacy and mini lessons from the writing workshop, they've already been learning a little bit about these 6 traits. The first one is ideas. This is the brainstorm part of the message. This could be the heart and the soul of good writing, and this is kind of where the main storylines will come from. Next is organization, which is about having a beginning, middle, and end. Next is voice. This is where the writer gets to have their expression, typically where tone is found. Word choice is our next one, and this is where students really get to broaden their vocabulary. Instead of using pebble words like good, they get to use rock words like amazing. This really helps the students really think outside their typical everyday vocabulary. The next one is sentence fluency. This is about the rhythm and the flow of a sentence, making sure that sentences are hooked together, and making sure that the text can be read with expression and interpretation. And lastly, we have conventions. This is our spelling, punctuation, capitalization, presentation, layout of our writing. This is very important, as it basically ties in everything that these students have put together for their story. Last, we have the writing process stages. The first one is pre-writing. This is where we're just still kind of throwing ideas out there, and we have a little brainstorming going on. Our next one is drafting. This is where we really get to begin to write out our ideas and create that story. It's not about erasing and starting over. It's more about marking things out and writing more sentences and putting new ideas on top of it. Next is revising. Revising is kind of when we go back and purposely mark out things, capitalize things, and add ideas and revise what we've already written. The next step is editing. This is when we go in and we rewrite and get it just the way we want it, with the proper revisions that we've made and possibly had some assistance from our teacher with. And the next one would be sharing. This is the opportunity for students to share their stories with one another and get a little feedback about what they've written. And lastly is publishing. And publishing is the best part of the writing process stage, as students get to see their books come to life and get to see that their stories are real as they become officially typed, printed, and formed into a book. The writing process stages are the final aspect of language literacy language literacy acquisition as with balanced literacy, 6 traits of writing, and writing workshop have given us all these tools in order to perform the writing process stages. We've learned so much through our mini lessons and through shared writings through about the 6 traits of writing, which then led us to do the writing processes. So in a sense, all these things connect with each other and really help establish a foundation for children as we're constantly rebounding off of information that we might present during an interactive writing activity or that we might present through a mini lesson that we want to see in their writing time. This connection between all of this really allows students to have a consistency of what the expectation is and what those tools and skills are of writing in order to be successful writers one day.